Every year, September turns into Apple season, the month when rumors hit peak volume, leaks flood social media, and everyone starts asking the same question. What is Apple about to launch next? We're expecting the usual headliners. A new iPhone, maybe a new Apple Watch, possibly new AirPods. But Apple never sticks to usual for long. The company loves a curveball. The kind that doesn't fully make sense until you see the keynote slide, the demo, and the price tag. So until Apple steps on stage and makes it official, we're stuck doing what the internet does best, predicting the future with breadcrumbs. Supply chain whispers, analyst notes, prototype sightings, and most interesting of all, what real Apple fans actually believe is coming next. Today, we're breaking down the biggest Apple event predictions based on reader expectations, including the one product nearly everyone thinks is finally happening, a foldable iPhone. Stay to the end, because we're also talking about AirPods with cameras, Apple smart glasses, the return of a Black Pro iPhone, and the one change iPhone users keep begging Apple for year after year, a lower price. Let's get into it. First up, the prediction dominating everything else. A foldable iPhone could finally be real if you've followed Apple rumors for any amount of time. You've heard foldable iPhone for years. It's been the ultimate maybe product, always in development, always being tested, always not quite ready, but this time, expectations are different. A large majority of readers now believe Apple will announce its first foldable iPhone in the upcoming cycle, and the reason is simple. Foldables are no longer a niche experiment. They're a mature category. Samsung has iterated through multiple generations of Galaxy Z Fold and Z Flip devices. Google has entered the space with the Pixel Fold lineup. Even the clamshell design has proven it can be mainstream when it's thin, durable, and stylish. So what would Apple do differently? If Apple launches a foldable iPhone, it's not going to be Apple's version of someone else's phone. It will likely focus on three things Apple cares about more than anything: durability, usability, and ecosystem integration. Now, the big question, what kind of foldable would Apple build? There are two main directions Apple could take. Option 1, a book-style foldable iPhone similar to the Galaxy Z Fold, a phone that opens into a mini tablet. That would instantly appeal to power users, multitaskers, and anyone who wants a bigger screen without carrying an iPad. Option 2, a clamshell-style foldable, like the Galaxy Z Flip or Motorola Razr, a compact phone that folds in half for portability, then opens into a full-size display. That would target a broader audience and could be positioned as a trendy, lifestyle-focused iPhone. And then there's the name. If Apple releases a foldable iPhone, the branding could go a lot of ways. People keep throwing around names like iPhone Fold, iPhone Flip, or even iPhone Ultra. Ultra would suggest Apple is positioning it as the most premium iPhone in the lineup, not a side product, but the new status symbol. Which brings us to the biggest issue of all. Price. Foldable iPhone. Price predictions are already wild. A foldable iPhone would almost certainly be Apple's most expensive iPhone ever. Between complex hinge engineering, flexible display tech, and the premium positioning Apple is known for, price expectations are climbing fast. Some predictions put the starting price in the neighborhood of $2,000, with higher configurations pushing even further. And there's another factor that could make pricing even more aggressive: component costs. As memory and high-end mobile components face supply pressure globally, and as demand for premium devices stays high, companies have less incentive to keep prices flat. Apple has already shown it's willing to raise prices or shift pricing tiers when it wants to protect margins. So if you're hoping Apple's foldable will be surprisingly affordable, you might want to prepare yourself now. Next, prediction. The futuristic-sounding product that most people don't think is coming yet, AirPods. With cameras, cool idea, wrong timing? AirPods with cameras sounds like science fiction, and that's why the rumor keeps going viral. But here's the reality check. If Apple adds cameras to AirPods, it probably won't be for taking photos or recording video the way you'd expect. The more believable use case is AI sensing. Tiny outward-facing sensors could help with spatial awareness, contextual Siri features, gesture recognition, or smarter audio experiences, basically turning AirPods into a wearable input device for Apple Intelligence and next-gen Siri. And yes, Siri is reportedly heading toward a much bigger upgrade, with more autonomous, agent-like features, deeper app control, and more advanced on-device intelligence. AirPods that can understand what's happening around you would fit perfectly into that future. But even if the concept makes sense, most readers don't expect Apple to launch camera-equipped AirPods in the immediate window. The more common belief is that this is a later roadmap product, something Apple introduces once the AI software experience is mature enough to justify it. In other words, AirPods with cameras might be real someday, but most people aren't betting on it for this year's keynote. Now let's talk about something much simpler, and surprisingly emotional for iPhone fans. Will the black iPhone Pro come back? Colors shouldn't be a big deal, and yet every year, iPhone Pro colors become a full-blown debate. There's a reason. Color is identity in the iPhone world. A huge portion of readers expect Apple to bring back a true black finish for the next Pro iPhone, whether that's called iPhone 18 Pro, iPhone 18 Pro Max, or whatever Apple names it next, and the demand makes sense. Black has always been one of the most iconic Pro looks Apple offers. It's minimal, premium, and timeless. The kind of finish that looks just as good on day 700 as it did on day 1. Recent rumor chatter often includes colors like deep blue, dark gray, or even cherry-toned finishes. But black is the one fans keep asking for. If Apple brings back a clean, bold Pro Black option, it would instantly become one of the most popular finishes in the lineup. Next up, the prediction that has the most split opinions. Apple Smart Glasses. Are they finally ready? Apple Smart Glasses are one of those products that feels inevitable, but also perpetually far away, and readers are almost perfectly divided on whether Apple is ready to announce them soon. On one side, you have the argument that the market is ready now. Lightweight smart glasses could be the next major Apple category after the Vision Pro era, especially if Apple can deliver all-day comfort, tight iPhone integration, and genuinely useful features instead of gimmicks. On the other side, you have the reality of how Apple ships products. Apple doesn't like launching almost there hardware. If the battery life isn't right, if the display tech isn't ready, if the user experience isn't intuitive, Apple will wait, and smart glasses are brutally hard to get right. You need the right balance of ultra-light hardware, a practical battery solution, cameras and sensors that don't feel invasive audio that's good, enough to replace earbuds sometimes, a reason to wear them daily, a killer feature that makes people say, okay, I need that. That's a big checklist. And it's why many experts suggest smart glasses may still be a longer-term project, even if Apple is heavily invested behind the scenes. Now, let's shift from futuristic hardware to a very real complaint iPhone users have right now. The number one change iPhone users want: make it cheaper. If you ask iPhone fans what they want most, you might expect answers like a better camera, thinner design, a foldable screen, a brand new feature no one else has. But one of the most requested changes is way more basic: lower the price. That's the dream. And for a lot of people, it's not even about wanting the cheapest iPhone possible, it's about value. As flagship phones push higher and higher in price, buyers are asking tougher questions. Is the upgrade worth it? Am I paying more for features I won't use? Why does the best model feel like it's priced out of reach? Even when Apple offers more budget-friendly options, the Pro models remain the aspirational devices, and their prices keep the Pro experience exclusive. Now, realistically, Apple isn't known for sudden price drops on its premium lineup, and broader market conditions, including component costs and high demand for advanced hardware, can keep prices elevated. So while fans want cheaper iPhones, the more practical strategy for many buyers is timing, trade-in deals, carrier promos, or even refurbished models. But even refurbished demand is rising as more people look for ways to avoid top-tier flagship pricing, and there's one other upgrade request that keeps showing up right next to price. Bigger battery, faster charging. No excuses. The other top request from readers is simple: better battery life, or at least faster charging. Phones are more powerful than ever, and they do more than ever. But that also means people notice battery anxiety more than ever. Users want a Pro Max that truly lasts all day with heavy use charging that doesn't feel slow compared to competitors. less dependence on carrying a charger everywhere. Apple has improved battery performance over time, but as displays get brighter, chips get more powerful, and AI features become more common, the battery conversation isn't going away.